Pope Francis arrived on Capitol Hill about 30 minutes ago. He was greeted by one of the most powerful Catholics in Washington. That's House Speaker John Boehner. Boehner and another high-profile Catholic, Vice President Joe Biden, will be behind Pope Francis when he addresses Congress today. We know he's not afraid to touch on controversial topics. At the White House yesterday, Pope Francis talked about climate change. He said he appreciates the actions that President Obama has taken. He also says that it's something that cannot be left to future generations to solve. Pope Francis also encouraged Americans to welcome refugees and immigrants, saying that they can enrich our country and enrich our churches. Right now, you probably can see House Speaker John Boehner welcoming everyone to the chamber. Both the House and Senate are there right now. We know at least 150 members of Congress are Catholic, but we've talked to people from all religions, and they're all excited to be here today to enjoy this papal visit, the first of its kind here on Capitol Hill. The Pope will speak in about 15 minutes, and even though he might touch on some topics that Republicans may disagree with him on, a lot of Republican staffers say they are welcoming the Pope, they respect him, and they're just happy that he's here. House Speaker John Boehner sent an email saying that the Pope transcends politics and he brings people back to our daily obligations. The best thing we can do is listen, open our hearts to his message, and reflect on his example.
Snow plows tried to clear roads in D.C., but it wasn't enough for some cars. We watched and helped as several drivers got stuck in the snow just a block from Capitol Hill.
All right, nice job, guys.
It was even worse in the suburbs. This video from 11 miles north in Bethesda, Maryland. No sign of a plow. Our colleague, who lives 25 miles away in Virginia, his town was buried under 32 inches of snow. In D.C., we caught up with federal employees who didn't have to go to work, but Boston native Emily Hurwitz still had a tough job ahead of her, digging out her car.
Luckily, I don't have to go anywhere anytime soon, but I just figured I'd try to get a little bit of a head start in case it refreezes.
This is the street I live on, 1 mile from the Capitol building. The plows have come through, but that's not good news for some people who left their cars parked on the street. These vehicles could be packed in for days.
I'm not trying to get my car out, just trying to make sure it doesn't ice over.
Leslie Cyphers moved to D.C. just 48 hours before the storm.
So you just moved here Wednesday. Why?
To get away from the snow in Boston.
And now what are you thinking?
I should have waited another week before I moved.
She knows it could be worse. Last year, her car got snowed in Boston for 2 months. In Washington, covering News That Matters, Kyla Campbell, Fox 23 News.
Investigators just wrapped up a news conference a few minutes ago. They are preparing to search the gunman's home. Police say just before 7 a.m. Eastern, Flanagan shot 24-year-old reporter Allison Parker and 27-year-old photographer Adam Ward. The WDBJ news team was in the middle of a live interview when Flanagan opened fire. Parker and Ward died. The woman being interviewed was shot in the back. She underwent surgery and is in stable condition this afternoon. Investigators described Flanagan as a disgruntled former employee of the station. The local sheriff says it's obvious Flanagan was disturbed. He sent a lengthy fax to a TV network last night.
It certainly goes to show where the gentleman's mind was the night before, or what was taking place there, that there was some forethought given as to the chain of events that would happen.
We're learning more about the victims. Parker, the reporter, just moved in with her boyfriend, an anchor at the same TV station in Roanoke. Ward, the photographer, it was his last day on the job. His fiancée is the morning show producer who watched all of this play out on live TV. She is scheduled to start working at our sister station in Charlotte next month. Live in Washington, D.C., Kyla Campbell, Cairo 7 News.
Sending a text or dialing a phone number using voice commands may take just a few seconds.
Please say a command after the beep.
But a new report from AAA says mental distractions can persist for as long as 27 seconds afterward. The statistics surprised driver Judd Smith.
I didn't think it was that long. I thought it'd be done instantly.
Even when we try to do them at seemingly safe moments like stop signs, red lights.
Jake Nelson from AAA says drivers' attention doesn't immediately snap back to the road. The study showed that's true for drivers of all ages using hands-free technology.
Everyone's driving performance gets worse. Our reaction times are slowed.
Even going just 25 miles per hour while distracted is dangerous. The study found drivers traveled the length of nearly 3 football fields in 27 seconds. That's about the distance from where I'm standing now all the way to the Capitol building while distracted.
How do I correct? director. How did she miss that?
AAA tracked drivers using voice-activated systems in several makes and models of vehicles. Researchers found the mental distractions were as bad as updating social media while driving. Even changing music by voice command distracted drivers.
Just because that technology is there to allow us to do that doesn't mean that we ought to use it.
Say your message.
AAA is working with manufacturers to improve the safety of future technology in cars. In Washington, covering News That Matters, Kyla Campbell, Fox 23 News.
Give it up for the world champion, U.S. Women's National Soccer Team.
A storybook day for the U.S. women's soccer team meeting President Obama. 13-year-old Ayla Ludlow from Massachusetts gave the White House welcome.
It makes me mad that people do not treat girls equally. Plus, a lot of girls are better at sports than boys.
President Obama said Ayla had every right to be mad with those attitudes.
This team taught all America's children that playing like a girl means you're a badass.
When somebody says you throw like a girl, you run like a girl, I'm kind of like, yeah, you're damn right I do.
The players told us winning the World Cup was about a lot more than just soccer. It's about equality for women.
Whether it be on the field or in the boardroom.
What can you say about the debate sparked this summer with female athletes getting paid less than their male and sometimes less successful counterparts?
Yeah, usually less successful. I mean, listen, it's right.
25 million people watched the Women's World Cup final match, the biggest audience in U.S. soccer history. Fans are now looking forward to the Olympics next summer.
Winning is the standard.
The U.S. women's soccer team has never won gold at the Olympics after winning the World Cup. Even more reason for these ladies to get it done.